Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my channel today. I'm really excited to share this page with you for Anna's Craft Cupboard. Bree and Rich very kindly sent me the awesome Coco Vanilla Studio Legendary collection, and this is the first page I've created. So you can see here I've got 4 little photos. I'm not even sure how big they are. They're quite small. I think those 3 there are a little bit smaller than 4 inches. So I think that the 4 of them come to a little bit over 4 inches, so they might be like 1.5 inches across maybe each. But I decided to leave those as a photo strip and make a bit more of a feature of the bigger square photo of this is my nephew and myself. These photos are from January 2018, I think. And he was, I mean, this boy is just so cute. He's so cheeky. He will be 3 in a couple of months, but he stole Hunter's hat. It just looked so freaking cute. So I took a few photos. I managed to get one of him and I, though he went straight for the camera. So yeah, like I said, I have matted those 4 little photos together as a photo strip, and I have then stuck that I've matted the bigger photo on white as well, and stuck those all together. I just used that washi tape because there was only a tiny bit of adhesive on there. I'm going to pop all of this up on some foam. I don't think I make you watch all of this because it is not exciting. I also had already picked my title, which you saw right at the beginning, This Cool Dude. And so I've got this much worked out, and I'm just marking out, making sure that I want the photo strip to be straight, just marking out where that's going to be on the page so I can come in with some white gesso. I'm very impressed with myself. I managed to keep my mixed media mostly to the middle of the page, which is very unusual for me. So you can see here, I'm rubbing like mad with this gesso, and it is not blending out at all. Now, the problem here is it is an older tub of gesso, so it has got quite thick. I can definitely use it for stenciling and that kind of stuff, but for this technique, it is not fantastic. And you can see here, I've pulled out another tub, and you can see straight away that is way more pliable, and I'm able to blend it out a bit more, able to put a bit of a lighter coat on. I did test behind where my big photo was going because I wasn't convinced that the gesso would be okay when I first pulled it out. So you can see I'm just adding white gesso, blending that out with my finger. I'm really happy with that placement. A lot of it is going to be covered over with photos and stuff. So that's where I'm going to work. I knew I wanted yellow. I think I shared that I had sampled all of my sprays. So I knew I wanted yellow because the yellow and the orange are not going to look terrible next to each other. And who doesn't love yellow? His dummy is yellow as well. And there's a couple of, so the photos have got that pop of yellow on his dummy, which I just thought made the photos pop a little bit more. And I chose the orange background because I really thought that the photos popped off it as well. So I'm using, this is Heidi Swapp Colour Shine in Butter. You can see I'm doing the packaging technique. I'm going to give that up in a minute. Spray straight onto the background. I'm going to use a paintbrush and some water and just move that colour around. I'm sure you've all seen this before, adding a bit more water to get that colour to move a bit more. I'm pretty sure I leave that to dry. Find that in a sec. Yeah, so that's all dry, and you can see it's lightened up a heap. I'm going to come back in with another of my paints. This is one of my shimmers. I think it's Bumblebee Shimmers by Shimmers. And again, I'm just adding some colour to the packaging, smushing that on, and adding a little bit of water. This colour is really thick, so I didn't want it too runny because I didn't want to lose all of the colour like I did with that first colour I put on. So I'm just going back in with my paintbrush and adding a bit more colour. I'm going to come in with my water spritzer and just thin that out a little bit so it moves a little bit more. and there's not really obvious dabby brush marks where I've just smushed it with my paintbrush. That is my yellow or dry. I love the shimmer from it. I have pulled in a grey. I thought grey would be a good contrasting colour because he is wearing grey. Oh, and what I was saying before was I think there's some pops of yellow on the hat he stole from my son. It's a Batman hat. So I'm coming in with this grey spray, and you can see I'm just going to add this more sparingly. I am going to add it in 2 places. As you can see here, I'm just being really lazy using my finger to get that colour to move a little bit. As I put it on, I kind of went, oh my goodness, this is kind of going green. I didn't want it to be green. I thought, okay, I'll give it a minute, dry it off and see what happens. I did dry the back of it, and you can see here it is definitely grey, and I was so happy with that. Adding, what am I doing now? Going to, oh, I'm trying to make my corners stay flat so I can add my splatters here. I'm going to come in with the Heidi Swap Colour Shine, and I think I come in with the Shimmers paint as well. Maybe? It'll be a surprise. Yep, that's the Shimmers paint there. I'm going to add a little bit to my packaging. No, I'm going to try and splatter it straight out of the pot. Oh yeah, I get some bigger splatters from this, and then I'm going to come in and also add some of the grey splatters. I'm trying to keep the grey to where the grey mist is. She says as she adds little splatters over the yellow. Well, there you go. I obviously forgot. So here is my background completely dry. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And I'm just showing you, I pulled out a few pieces here. When I did my unboxing, I showed you the yellow in the 6x8 paper pad. And so that is the exact color yellow that I wanted to use. So I'm going to mount that on yellow. And then I decided to add this matte of this fun blue color, as not blue color, blue pattern paper as well. These are from the 6x8 paper stack. If you haven't got your hands on any of the new collections from Cocoa Vanilla, Zoe has started making them a paper stack rather than a paper pad, which is awesome. Though the OCD in me kind of gets a little bit upset that they're out of order, but that's okay. I do much prefer that I can find the page I'm looking for without tearing it out and having the whole book fall apart. So happy with that placement, just making sure I've got everything where I want it. And now I'm going to come in with my embellishments. I'm starting with the biggest pieces because I know that if I want to use them, they need to go on the page first. I do use that big, what is that? Ribbon kind of ephemera piece. I think it says Total Legend or something like that, which I think is really cool. Obviously, I'm coming in with stars. I love stars, and I just think it's appropriate. Then that circle piece to the top left says Authentic something or other, but again, I really liked that it mimicked the circle from the bottom right to the top left, and just playing with the stars here. I've pulled out, I think, yellow, orange, and grey pieces from the ephemera pack. And I end up using my stars layered like this, some of them, I think. What am I looking for? Really happy with this placement. I really like it. But I feel like I just need to add in a few more bits and pieces, so I add in that little tab from the ephemera pack. Try this arrow. Actually, I think the arrow's, oh, I can't remember. What am I doing? So you can see I'm just trying lots of different ephemera pieces, moving things around. I think I cut out a bulk of this because it is kind of tedious. Okay, so I've jumped forward. I've got the clear stickers here, which I don't think I end up using. I'm just going through all the bits, seeing if there's more that I want to use. I love those clear stickers. Flicking through the papers. And at this point, I'm thinking I want to pull in that wood grain. It is a really nice contrast. And if you've ever heard me speak about brown before, you know I'm not a big fan, but wood grain is not brown. I don't know how my brain works. So I decided that I wanted to bring that wood grain in, or at least see how it looked. And I'm like, yes, that is exactly what this page needs. So I'm going to add the wood grain frame behind my main photo, and I've used my punch here. And I don't know if you noticed, I put the paper on an angle because I wanted the strips of wood to be on the same kind of angle between the frame and my couple of little tags, labels here. I really like the placement of that one. I don't know why I moved it. I do want these to pop out a little bit more, so I'm using a white paint pen and just adding some doodly borders around them. This little one is not really obvious in the end layout, but I do tuck it into the layers where that legend ribbon tag thingy is. Add the same to the frame here. This wood grain is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to start distressing all my pieces. Now I think I had already stuck down those big circular pieces, so they were not distressed before. I just didn't even think of it. I do go back in, I think, and distress them as much as I can. You can see I'm doing my stars as, no, that's the tiny little label. I'm just going to poke that in there. You only see a little tiny pop of it, but it gives that visual triangle, which I'm really happy with. Using my T-square ruler and trying to get this back where I had it, and so it is straight. You can see I struggle. I so rarely use a ruler and want things straight. I have stuck down my title. No, I haven't stuck down my title, but that main cluster has been stuck down, and most of the ephemera pieces that are attached to the photos, either on the back or the front, are actually stuck there now. I'm going to use this flare badge. I like the idea of the 3 circles, and I like that this is orange as well. Just using some glue to stick that down, and I put some yellow thread behind that. I'm like, what orange do I want to use? There's a lot of paper on this layout, so I do pull in the thread here. I like the difference in texture, and I like here the colour that it adds as well. Again, just distressing pieces as I stick them down. I think I don't make you watch all of it because it's really not exciting viewing. I am making sure that's stuck down with my punch. So if you decide to distress stars, I found the easiest way is to do obviously one side at a time. But if I go all the way like clockwise or anti-clockwise and go away from me, so on all 5 sides, and then if I turn the ephemera piece over in my hand, I can then go the same way because obviously that feels natural to me, and distress the other side as well. I'm going to add another little thing of thread here. And you can see I'm just using my scissors to get that into the place where I want it, you know, because perfect placement. Adding glue behind the rest of my title and sticking that down. I've added my journaling in white. I've also added another cluster to the bottom right hand side where the yellow and grey star are layered. So I ended up layering the yellow and the grey stars and then stuck the grey ones directly to my background. I've added my journaling in white, as I said, and I've even drawn in the lines, and I'm coming in with some of my white India ink to add splatters. I just felt that that kind of lifted the whole page, not that it's particularly dark, but I have a thing for white splatters at the moment, so they're going on everything. I'm pretty sure this is the last thing I do. Yeah. So some close-ups on the video. I think I went in and added a few more grey splatters as well from memory. And I do trim off that border strip. Lots of close-ups for you. So I will leave links to the Anna's Craft Cupboard store, the Anna's Craft Cupboard blog, the Anna's Craft Cupboard Facebook group as well. So make sure you head over to all of those. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave them below. Not that I think that you are, but Zoe, if you are watching, this collection is amazing. I love it. I may be perhaps hoarding that beautiful rainbow diagonal stripe. My challenge though to myself is to use it on a page. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I hope you've enjoyed this. As always, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate that you want to hang out with me for 15, 16 minutes. I hope you are staying well, looking after yourself and your loved ones, and I will be back again soon with another share. Take care of yourself, and I will speak to you soon.